are we, man? Spreading enough?
If you got 10 commandments, the thou shalt not commit adultery is the one that refers to sex, because there's a morality to sex. Sex in and of itself there's nothing wrong or right per se. There's a morality to it. And also there's nothing in the Bible that says girls can't have sex with girls. Just telling you. And that's a good thing, because the planet would have been burned up by now. I don't know if you guys watch porn. I love watching girl sex. It's I
was gonna say it would make my life a lot less interesting, but
we're speaking freely here. And
we are indeed.
And I'll give you everything in the computer binary code, 1 and 0. Electricity, male plug, female socket. 1s and 0s, positives and negatives. And the two shall be, like we're kids on the playground, and the two shall become one flesh, right? 0 plus 0 equals 0. Girl sex to God is a non-event. Man and man sex, that's not becoming one flesh. So the male homosexuality, it's not a moral judgment per se that is in the Bible prohibiting that. That's just try and plug a plug into a plug instead of a socket. It just doesn't work. So, but anyway, I'm just throwing things out there for you.
No, this is, dude, this is the kind of thing I want to get into later, because I was curious about your feeling on some of these, more nuanced views. But please carry on, man. I'm riveted. I'm riveted.
Okay, so what I do then is describe the truth about women, and then from Genesis. And then I use Genesis chapter 3. You said it exactly right. The serpent, Eve, and Adam. Okay, now, God told Adam. He didn't tell Eve. She never heard what God actually said. God told Adam, I'm giving you all this. In the midst of that garden are 2 trees. Tree of life, tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Just leave those alone. You got freedom for everything else. Knock yourself out, okay? Because at the end of chapter 2 in Genesis, and the man and the woman were naked and not ashamed. That's how Genesis 2 ends. Okay. So now you got Genesis chapter 3. The serpent seduced Eve. I won't get into the theological of it, but for men and picking up women, those are the 5 steps of seduction in sequence. Now, again, neurolinguistic programming, understand there's only 5 ways to affect the brain, and it's through the 5 senses. When we were back in the day, we would naturally tell a girl, we would talk, man, you need to get in her ear, which is what the serpent did with Eve. That's the first penetration. I tell guys as a technique, I go back in the day, I went to discos, that's what we call them then, right? And I'm in Atlantic City when there was only one casino on that steel dance floor with the fog machine and all that. But anyway, I would get a girl's phone number and not talk to her anymore that evening, because I wanted to get her on the phone. Because when she held the phone to her ear, I couldn't physically get that close to her. The auditory nerves in a woman's ear, that's why Barry White will live forever for a lot of women. The vibrations of sound. Okay, so that's your first seduction, but you got to get in that ear properly. Okay, and then it says Eve saw that the fruit was good. So now we got the eyes. And I teach men how to be a delight to a woman's eyes. And again, that's what the book's for. I won't get into the details. I'm just showing you the 5 steps.
Yeah.
Fragrance. The fruit was ripe. The smell of the fruit. Okay, so that's why your body smell pheromones plus proper cologne, so forth, so on. Eve then reached out to touch that fruit, although she was by fear. She understood. She told the serpent that. God said, if we touch that, we'll die. Well, there's Eve reaching out to touch the fruit, because a woman will risk death. Oh, and some men don't understand. You follow the wrong woman, like Steve McNair, you get shot on your couch in the head. Okay, this is not a game. This is not a game. A lot of guys don't understand. Some of the most intelligent, smartest men, their downfall has been women. Ask General Petraeus. Ask Jack Welch.
Indeed.
Ask so many men accomplished in life fuck up when it comes to women. But so then Eve reached out and touched that fruit, and then she ate the final sense. So basically, if you get it right, she's gonna want to put you in her mouth. Okay, if you follow the steps in proper sequence.
So if you put it in her ear, she'll want you to put it. She'll want it in your.
Wait, yeah, you put it in her ear, she can hear you coming, baby.
Put it in her ear.
Put it in her ear, she can hear you coming. Put it in her eye.
Put it in the ear, then you can put it in her mouth. But ear first.
Hey, brother, you got it.
It's a sequence, but you got to go through the 5 steps.
Yeah.
It ends with
that
the
sequence.
tasting.
So then you start throwing combinations, right? So you're wearing the blue cashmere. We used to say, one of my best friends, he would wear leather. He said, because it gets the honeys hot here in the sink crinkle and leather. That's why it's natural for women to dress in furs. That's why it's natural for them to wear Playboy bunny ears. They're creatures, brother. Control them.